What's up, y'all? Charlie here with Builders Growth Lab. I want to take a second and tell you about campaign pilots. So let's say that you've built your app and you've got it out. I don't know, use Bolt, Cursor, Cloud Code, whatever it is. It's out live. You got the domain. You deployed. Awesome. Users are visiting. So let's say you're staring at your GA4 screen. You're under user attribution, and you're looking at your traffic sources. Let's just say that. Okay, how do you actually make sense of that, right? You're the builder, not the marketer. Okay, that's fine. That's where campaign pilots comes in. It does the work for you. So what does that mean? Go to campaignpilots.ai, fire up your connectors. You've got GA4, you've got Search Console, you've got Google Ads. Okay, it takes less than 60 seconds to connect. Start a new analysis chat. Let's say you're connected to Search Console. You can prompt it, you can ask it, give me the top 5 pages in the last 30 days compared to the last 30 days. Tell me the deltas and tell me what to do moving forward on how to make this the most profitable campaign I can. And it will tell you the pages. And then you can ask it what are the top 5 non-branded keywords and then how to optimize those moving forward. And it will tell you. It basically tells you how to get the highest ROAS possible for your app. So it solves the problem for getting customers to your app in layman's terms. So go to campaignpilots.ai, sign up for a free 2 weeks, and message us and let us know how it is. Thanks, y'all. On to the episode.
I have built digital twins that I am obsessed with,
Mm-hmm.
that I use them all the time. They're actual clones of me that I have put all my frameworks, everything I've written, every LinkedIn post. And the second one I call the investor, and she's the mean Katie. She's the one that's really going to poke holes. At the early stages, everything's a projection,
Yeah.
everything's made up. If you can't explain it to somebody else, every deal I've done, I can explain. Founder market fit to me means that the founder has experience in the industry. I think we are a bit in a bubble with these chat GPT wrapper type AI businesses.
What's up, y'all? Charlie here with Builders Growth Lab, episode 31. We have special guest Katie Dunn. She's an angel investor. She's done over 30 deals. And it's just me writing solo this week. Connor and Mallory are both out. They have the virus that's been going around. So, yeah, I talked to both of them. Well, I talked to Connor this morning, talked to Mallory yesterday. Connor just got it. He woke up feeling like hell. I think that was actually a direct quote. And Mallory caught it last week. She's feeling a little better, but don't want to push anything. So they will be better soon. So again, just running solo this week. It's going to be a shorter episode. The interview is with Katie Dunn. Again, she is awesome. She's great. She took time out of her day to join us. By us, I mean this guy. And yeah, she peeled back the curtain on angel investing. So let's just cut right to the interview. Enjoy. Okay, we're sitting down with Katie Dunn, angel investor. Katie, thank you for taking the time and being on the pod.
Thank you so much for having me, Charlie. It's exciting.
Yeah, tell me, for our listeners that aren't familiar with you, please tell me, what you're doing in the AI space and what you've been up to this year.
So I am an angel investor and startup advisor. I help founders. My specialty is helping founders with their fundraising strategy and getting them prepped on how to communicate with investors. In the AI space specifically, I have built digital twins that I am obsessed with,
Hmm.
that I use them all the time. So they're actual clones of me that I have put all my frameworks, everything I've written, every LinkedIn post, all of the things I use with my clients and customers, and that everything I've ever thought about fundraising, I've put into this platform. And so you can talk with them and work with them on how to get your pitch better, or even just ask general questions that you're maybe nervous about asking somebody else for the fear of looking not educated on this topic. And then I also have some custom GPTs that I've built that I help founders with developing their pitch, their deck material, their TAM, SAM, SOM, stuff like that. So
Hmm.
I'm all in on AI. I've made a couple investments in AI driven, or well, really startups that use AI, because
Hmm.
I think startups really need to solve a problem first and foremost. If somebody leads with this is an AI blah 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 blah, I'm like, okay,
Right, right.
go bye, have fun.
Yeah,
So anyway, so yeah, but I love AI. I really I think it's been incredible, and I'm looking forward to the rise of all these solo founders making exiting for $1 billion,
that's
like the
it. Yeah.
predictions say. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Solo Billy Goat, right?
Hmm.
Do you remember those? Speaking of being obsessed with AI, I got obsessed with it. I mean, it was like the week that GPT was deployed.
Hmm.
What got you into it?
That same thing. And it was it was just amazing that you could have an intelligent conversation with something else that would, if you asked the right questions and said things the right way,
Hmm.
it would really help you think about things critically. That's one of the things that I really love about it, and which is what I use my own twins for, is like that it's so hard to see outside of yourself, right? You're so in the weeds of something, you're
Hmm.
get really focused, you think that you get everybody gets like very set in their ways, right? This allows you, if you ask it to open yourself up and think of other people's perspectives, think of where other people are coming from, think about how something's going to land. If you have to give bad news to somebody, like I use it a lot. I'm a very direct person. I speak very directly. That's how I like to be spoken to as
Hmm.
well. So to, I just feel like don't beat around the bush. Don't give me all these buzzwords. Like, don't just tell me how it is. And so, but I know that that can land not the best in certain situations. So a lot of times I'll use emails and say, like, this is what I want to say to somebody. How would you feel if you were this person? Or how should I say this in a better way so it lands better? So that kind of thing. It's just like I love it as a thought partner, and also automating tasks and monetization opportunities, all the things. What are you using it for? Like what was your first thing that you were using it for?
Okay, so with my background is in SEO.
Hmm.
I still have an SEO agency, so we would look into like keyword research. We would look into topics for clients. Actually, you know what happened? When I first like, holy, like this is
Yeah.
bananas. Um, Actually, hats off to our our COO. We were looking for podcast ideas for my SEO agency. So um, we do SEO for cannabis dispensaries because they can't buy Google ads.
Yeah.
So well, it's going to change next year. So we were looking up podcast names, and I asked GPT. And this was the time where you can only ask it like 5 things in an hour, because the
Mm,
scale was
yes.
there. So um, the number one response back was the same idea that our COO, her name was Kaz, had, and it just like blew my brain apart. She's like, "See, I'm smarter than the AI. I'm smarter than the AI." So she was giving me shit for a while about that. So that was the first thing, and then yeah, I fell down the rabbit hole of keyword research, and then competitor analysis, and then just like general questions, and then I got into kind of what you were saying of like properly structuring a prompt of like, for example, I would use one of I have this business idea. Or no, I would first prompt it. You are a top 1% advisor. Sharks or no, I said dragons on Dragon's Den come to you because they're the more like the straighter line one, like Kevin O'Leary or like um what is her name? I can't remember her name. Anyway, they go to you. You haven't seen your family in like 1 year. Your family hates you. All you do is work. Like you're that type A driver asshole. Analyze this business opportunity for me. And I
Amazing.
kept that, and that's what I yeah, ran with it.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I built the first thing I built was a Tam Sam Som calculator and have used it with founders. I mean, I've iterated on it and made it better, but it's been an incredible game changer because I think that's something founders struggle with so much. And being able to defend your Tam Sam Som
Hmm.
is something that investors love to challenge people on. So being able to say, like, point to the research, this is how I calculated. I did the bottom up, I did the top down, I
Hmm.
did the value theory, like all the approaches, and figured it out. It's just a it's been a really that was a really fun exercise. I love that kind of stuff.
Is that in an interface, or is that like
I
how
use
is
it with
that?
clients privately, but
Okay.
I'm gonna so with the I'm thinking about putting it on the ChatGPT store. I'd love
Mm.
your
Oh yeah, yeah,
thoughts on that. Like, because that just launched.
yeah.
And I was actually watching something just before this about that. And I think that would be a good lead gen kind of thing too. It's a it's something that I know people struggle with and want. And but I my plan is to put it on my own website, but do I maybe I put it on the store? I don't know. We'll see.
I would put it on like what? Why wouldn't you? Like
I don't
what's the
know. I don't know
reservation?
why I wouldn't.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe make more money somehow. I don't know. I don't know because I was trying to figure out the way that the store model works is that they share revenue with you,
Hmm.
right? So it's a I could make more money if I just sold it myself.
If you got users first, well, you're an advisor,
Yeah,
you know this.
I do have, yeah, but
Getting in the users, getting some feedback. I mean, that's kind of what we were thinking. Like we put our app on Product Hunt and all
oh
that. But
yeah,
um, yeah, I mean, I would say do it without
yeah.
having any context into much of what it
Why
is,
not,
really.
right? I could
Yeah,
always take it down too, I guess.
yeah, you could. So real quick too, and I do want to ask you about this. These digital twins, you mentioned this twice. I want to go into that. You know, it sounds like you have, the little angel that pops up one on your left shoulder, one on your right shoulder, one hits you with a frying pan, and like the nice one, the mean one. Can
Yep.
you go into that more?
Yeah, sure. So I built two of them, and I'm actually thinking about building a third. But the first one I did is I call the advisor. She is the nice version of Katie that answers all your questions and helps you out with whatever your questions are around fundraising, startups, growth, all of those things. And this is something that I need to dispel. They are not ChatGPT based. They are based on a platform called Delphi, which you can only put in your information. So it's all my frameworks, everything I've ever written, everything
Mm,
I've ever built. It's not based on, it's not scraping the web to get the answers. Like you're getting me, myself, as I would answer things. And I can feed it all the time. And, it's got my websites in there, whatever. And if it RSS feeds, podcasts, like all
mm,
of that stuff, transcripts of everything I've said. So it's really is the real me. And that one, the first one is more the general, I have questions. I don't, should I raise funds? Should I not? How much should I raise? How do I figure this out? All that kind of stuff. And then the second one I call the investor, and she's the mean Katie. She's the one that's really going to poke holes. So for her, you can upload a deck in a PDF format and she'll give you feedback on the deck. You could speak your pitch out loud to her and she'll talk you through it and ask you questions as an investor would. She'll challenge you on your tam sam sam. She'll challenge you on your traction. She'll say you're using too many buzzwords. She'll critique the presentation style, like
mm,
all of those kinds of things, so that it's a great practice if you're fundraising or going into a pitch competition, for example. I've had founders win hundreds of thousands of dollars using them for pitch competitions and grants. So really helping you
mm.
answer the questions that are asked. So it's like you get the investor's brain to help you answer your questions of other investors in the best way.
What's the third persona?
The third persona I'm thinking about doing is an angel investor persona so that other angels can use her as a Katie, what do you think of this deal kind of thing? Because I do have a lot of people that I share deal flow with or
Mm,
that ask me, have you seen this deal? What do you think? That kind of thing. And I have a lot of aspiring angel investors that come to me and say, I want to do this, but I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. I don't know what questions to ask. I don't know
yeah,
how to assess a founder, how to look at a financial statement, what due diligence should I be doing,
mm.
that kind of stuff. So that was my
Interesting.
thought with her.
Cool.
Yeah.
And your background's in banking, right?
Yes,
Or
commercial
like
real estate. Yeah,
okay.
specifically. Yep.
So what got you from banking into angel investing?
Yeah. Yeah, it's sort of a weird trajectory that doesn't make sense unless you look back. So yeah, I was a commercial real estate lender for more than 25 years. So what I did as my job is I would look at the tenants in buildings. So think of a retail building. You've got all these different retail stores, an office building that's got all these office tenants, industrial building that's got different sets of tenants. And I would have to look at those tenants and the major ones specifically to and look at their financials to make sure that they could pay the rent so that the owner of the building would pay the mortgage, which is where I came in. So with that, I would like look at all these different businesses and I would look at their business models. I would visit their space. I would look at their financials. And it was, I loved that part of it. I loved learning about these other businesses. And when, remember when it came out that when Uber went public and you heard the stories of the people that invested 25,000, made 5
Like
million or
Jason
whatever the numbers.
Calacanis and like
Exactly. Yeah.
what is her name?
Yeah. The one,
S-
yeah. I know who you're talking about. But
Simon?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They were just like it was great. And I was like, how? I was like, I want to do that. How does somebody
Hmm.
do that? And then I didn't do anything for a really long time about it. But I had the opportunity. I invested in a movie first, actually, through a friend,
A
and I loved
movie.
it. Yeah, and it was so fun. It was something I always wanted to do. And it was so fun. It premiered at Tribeca. It was great, but it was sort of at that weird time in the industry where like Netflix was starting to do their own content and all the streaming platforms were sort of early stages. And so movies weren't necessarily getting sold to normal distributors. They were going to streamers and all this things. So we
Hmm.
got caught in the middle. But it's a great movie. It's probably a tiny bit dated right now because just if you watch it, it's called Folk Hero and Funny Guy. It's a great movie, but there's like a joke that runs throughout it that people are going to be like, I don't even know what that is. But anyway, so but it was great. I didn't make any money off of it though. So I haven't done any movies since then. And then a year or so later, I had the opportunity through a friend at work to invest in an Irish spirits company. And so that was sort of my first foray into it. And then the founder asked me to be on the board. It's by far my biggest investment. It's my longest investment and still one of my favorite investments. And
Really? Hmm.
that's when I started going really deep on, I took a class on angel investing. I took the Yale Women on Boards executive education program. Like I really got educated. I'd started networking my butt off, especially during COVID, with other angels, with venture funds, with founders, and just like I would help founders with their decks just for free, just to get
Hmm.
experience and seeing what they're doing. And almost 4 years ago now, I said to the bank that I was working for, give me a package. I'm gonna go and go do this because it was like I was living these dual worlds of the banking side, which was COVID. So all these businesses were closing. Nobody was allowed to go shopping or go to work. And we were just so focused on preserving ourselves. It felt awful. Like people are dying and we're like, is the borrower going to pay his mortgage this month? Like it was just this horrible thing.
Yeah.
And then on the side, I was helping these founders with the positive things of growth opportunities and looking at the good side of stuff. And so I decided to go full time. And so I built my business, my day job around helping founders with their communication strategy and fundraising, and then angel investing. So I'm up to 30 investments now.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
This might be kind of a stupid question, but could you see the collapse of WeWork coming?
100%
Really? No
yes.
shit, huh?
Yes. Oh, so yes, 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 yes. So we, at my bank specifically, I think we invested in one deal where they were a tenant. We would just pass because there, and if you look back at there's a documentary that was done shortly after the crash. One of them, there were 1,000, but it was like not one of the movies about them. It was more of a documentary
Hmm.
about the whole thing. And they talked about how the company was valued. So the company would buy would lease space, right? So, but the company was valued at like something like 100 times what the actual value of that real estate was, which didn't make any economic sense. So the other thing was that was really shady. And we saw this is Adam Newman was buying buildings himself as Adam Newman, the person, and then leasing them to WeWork, the entity,
Oh,
enriching himself personally
wow.
and not giving the business any sort of discount. In fact, they were probably at premiums to
Yeah.
the what was the market rent at the time.
Hmm.
And there was just so many red flags. I mean, there was really no real estate people involved in there. And if you look at who he raised from, he wasn't raising from real estate companies. He was raising from tech companies. He was trying to act like a tech company when he was a physical product company.
Yeah, yeah.
So yes, I remember I was on a site inspection for a huge deal, like one of the biggest real estate deals ever done was we did a huge syndicate of a bunch of banks. That's normally what you do in real estate. Like, so you offload the risk through everybody take, of $1 billion deal, everybody takes 100, 10 banks take 100 million. So we, I was with some other people and that one of these other bankers had gotten the package of them for that when they were going to go IPO and they put out that random like Canva, sort of presentation, not a true IPO package. And so somebody got their hands on it and we were paging through it and just all these real estate people just laughing in a bus. It was,
Really? Wow.
yeah, it was like, whoa, what are they thinking? Yeah.
That's bananas. So
Yeah.
do you take that same due diligence um POV into
Lens.
your
Yeah.
potential deals, your deal flow?
100%. Yes. And that's, I think, what makes me, I think I'm unique in that how I'm suited to do this as an angel investor because I'm not afraid to ask questions. I I'm not afraid to say I don't understand. I don't know what this means. I don't,
Hmm.
a lot I think which is I think you have to have that as an angel investor. You have to be willing to really challenge and say like if you don't get something, don't pretend you do. Because if you can't explain it to somebody else, like I every deal I've done, I can explain, I could say, Charlie, I could give you one sentence about every
Yeah.
single deal
Yeah.
and make it so simple that you can understand it.
Hmm.
So I think that's really important. And also just like doing how to do research, how to Google the right thing. Like it used to be Googling the right things. Now it's how to prompt for the right,
Prompting it. Yeah.
yeah, things. And and then just looking at the financial statements too. Like I live and think in Excel, so I that part isn't scary to me. I think due diligence and looking at financials and understanding the financials are the two things that really that hold people back from angel investing or making a decision because they think that they don't understand or they don't get it, which is kind of why I want to build my twin of like, here are the sort of questions you
Mm.
need to ask. Like if you are a tech company, if you're looking at a tech company that's a B2B SaaS, the metrics you should be looking for are churn, MRR, um, retention, lifetime customer value, CAC,
Hmm.
like those kinds of things versus a CPG company, which you should be, looking at how many SKUs do they have? Where, like, are they direct to consumer? Are they going through distributors? Are they in retail? Do they have direct relationships with retailers? Like, all these different kinds of things. So it's like anything. You put a couple minutes into it and you dedicate yourself to learning a little bit about it, you can do it. Everybody can do it. It doesn't I think people overcomplicate it and make it sound way harder than it is because that's just how people are, right?
Yeah, like if you've never done something before, you think it's just this big giant thing in your head, and then you have a conversation with a founder. As an angel investor, you have a conversation. It's, oh, okay. I've heard this CAC before of like or churn and like conversion from a free trial if they offer it to a paid. What's that percent? Blah blah blah.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah.
Um, Back to like angel investing, and do you, if you do see patterns or like, is there a certain personality type that you would invest in, regardless of the product? Like, is there like a driver type A, get the hell out of my way kind of thing? You know,
Yes.
asking like, what kind of jockey do you invest in?
Yeah, that's a great question because at the early stages, everything's a projection,
Yeah,
everything's made up. And I've invested in founders pre-product before in the
really.
past. I'm not doing that now, but I have in the past. I don't think that was the market back then. It's not now, but I look for founders that have experience in or some sort of business experience, or whether it's working for another startup or working for a corporation, doesn't matter. I want them to have some sort of experience. I don't want them, no offense against the 17-year-old founders, but I do think you need to have a little bit of experience in this world to be
Yeah.
successful
Some
in this.
acumen. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's one thing. The other thing is like real passion for the problem. And I'm saying the problem versus the solution because the problem is what you have to be obsessed with. You
Hmm.
have to be obsessed with solving what it is, not what you're bringing a solution, but there's many solutions out there for problems. And people always say, well, there's nobody else like us. We're the only ones doing it. People are solving the problem in some way today. It may be super manual. It may take them 70,000 steps. It may cost them $1,000, but they're doing it somehow if the problem is that meaningful to them. So if you are obsessed with the problem and obsessed with your customer, and learning from your customer, that's what I want to see is like, are you listening to them? Are you constantly engaging with them? Are you getting their feedback? Are you making sure they're staying engaged, making them sticky, building new things to keep them coming back or bringing on new SKUs that are going to keep them coming back and buying you. So that kind of stuff. It's got to be this is the only thing you can ever think of yourself doing. You have to solve this problem. You
Hmm.
want to do that. You are so obsessed with it. You have to build a company, not make any money, starve yourself, devote all hours, ruin your family life, whatever it is. I mean, I would not say I don't want people to do that, but that's like the mentality you have to
Yeah.
have is going into this is that could happen. So it's a mental game too. You got to have fortitude, resilience, grit, all that kind of
Hmm.
stuff.
So how do you find that then? Like, do you ask a certain set of questions to find that? Just that, as Calacanis says, that dogged mentality.
I would say yes, I do ask some certain questions, but it's also a get to know you thing. It's a relationship building thing. It's a reputation thing.
Okay.
So I think I can read people pretty well and I trust my gut a lot. The founders that have not performed for me, and I talk a lot about the failures of I did not trust my gut. There's one actually I still think I did the right thing even though the company failed. I still believe in that founder a lot because he did so many things right,
Hmm.
especially at the end when he had to shut down the company. But it's a gut thing. It's a lot of gut thing. People really need to figure out how to get in touch with that and listen to it
That's
and
a
sit
skill
with it.
set. Yeah,
It is. It's
100%. Yeah.
practice. It's practice. And I don't know how to teach that. It's, for me, it's I have to like talk with them or Zoom with them or see their face, with in
Hmm.
person with them, see how they interact in certain situations if I can, in a networking situation, for example, or just get to know them on a personal level and see like do I like these people because it's a long-term relationship. It's
Yeah.
longer than some romantic relationships
Yeah.
and marriages. So do I trust this person? Do I think they're going to come to me when things are hard? Do I think that they're going to ask for help when they need it? Are they going to tell me when they have a big win and we can celebrate it together?
Hmm.
It's that kind of stuff. So do I like this person enough to support them for the next 5 to 10 years?
Is it one of those things? Well, in like 2 minutes.
It's happened. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
it's
it
definitely
has happened
happened.
the other way too. Or like, no, just
100%.
cut the. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That happens more
I was
than
gonna say,
the
yeah, I'm sure it
yeah.
kind of rubs you the wrong way because
Yeah.
I'm kind of the same way.
Yeah.
Um, okay, okay, and you talk about founder market fit.
Hmm.
For our audience of builders, can you go into that and what that means and what specifically yourself and other investors would look for?
Yeah, so founder market fit to me means that the founder has experience in the industry, in the market in which they're building, that they understand it, they have connections, a
Hmm.
network, resources, some understanding, whether it's education or actual experience or both in that area. So that, product market fit comes so much later that when you have to see if it actually works, if customers are actually willing to pay for whatever you're selling.
Hmm.
The founder market fit can be an instantaneous. They could have it right away. Like they've, one founder I invested in this past year was she worked for two startups and Bain, and she started bank consulting right out of college and then was number three at one company, number five at the other. And then she started her own company. And she's just built to be a founder. She really understands growth. She really understands what it means to be a founder, what it means to build a company. And one of the companies that she worked at, she was responsible for building the community around it and the
Hmm.
growth of the community. So the tool she's building is all around networking and using your relationships to better yourself and to like really know who's in your network. And she saw the power of that with when, so the company was her name is Caroline Dell. The company she's building now is called Goodword. And the company where she really built the community and built the users is Chief. So Chief went from, built to thousands of members all over the country. And you needed a way to make people want to be a part of the community.
Hmm.
And so she saw the power of what people did for each other. And if you have a community, what it can what it can do for your career, yourself, your learning, whatever it is that you need help with. But she wanted a better way to make that happen. And so the Good Word app is doing that. So that's a great example of founder market fit.
And you've seen it go the other way, right? If a founder does not have founder market
Uh-huh.
fit and it still is, successful and it's still scaling, or
I'm
no?
trying to think if like do I have founders? Let me think of well, I could think I'm
Or
trying
is
to think
that
of
when
things that have
the mean Katie says no and hits them with the frying
yeah.
pan?
Yeah. I mean I think there are like I get this a lot in my LinkedIn DMs where people will be like, "Hey, I'm building this thing. What do you think?" And I'm like, "Yeah, not for me." And then a month later, they'll come back and be like, "Hey, we're doing this instead." And I'm like, "Are you just like fishing for problems or fishing for solutions?" Like that, that to me doesn't show real passion for the problem. So it looks like there are people, and I'm sure you've encountered this. There are people out there that build something just to build something. That's where the obsession about the problem is not there. So they're not going to be as engaged
Hmm.
in doing what they're doing. So I think you have to know something. And there are, I give this analogy of like what I call the chocolate chip cookie story. So say you have a great chocolate chip cookie recipe, you make it, your family and friends like it. You start bringing it to parties. People are like, "Charlie, you really need to sell this chocolate chip cookie. It's so good." So then you go to farmers markets and you sell them there and you sell out every single week. And you're like, "Okay, now I'm going to take this to what's the grocery store in your biggest grocery store in Denver?"
Let's say King Supers.
Okay. So you take it to King Soopers and you're like, "Hey, I make this great chocolate chip cookie." And they laugh you out of the store because that's not how it works. Like you can't sell a chocolate chip cookie to your local grocery store and have them take it. It doesn't work like that. They work with distributors and there's all these things so you get kind of thwarted. The almost like you don't know what you don't know. You just
Hmm.
know you make a good chocolate chip cookie. So, but if you're not obsessed with solving the problem of a chocolate chip cookie, a lot of people would get stopped there and be like,
You're just
"Ah,
gonna give up.
screw it."
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get poopy
But the
pants and give up. Yeah.
Exactly. The poopy pants. Yeah. But the people that really get obsessed and like, "I need this to live in the world. I need it to live on the shelves of every King Super all over the world, all over the country." They're gonna figure that out. They're gonna
Hmm.
go after it and like, "Oh, okay, maybe I shouldn't start there. Maybe I should start with Sprouts that I know takes in early stage. They have a whole section of early stage uh,
Like local vendors.
founder, yeah,
Yeah.
vendors, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So they'll maybe I start there and maybe then I ask for some intros to distributors or I can sell it on fair to little boutiques and markets and stuff like that. So like it's a figuring that out. It Are you willing to figure it out along the
Yeah.
way?
I think that's such a cool trait of people that just figure shit out. When I had a
Yeah.
sales job, I mean, it's like, what do you do after retail? You go into sales, right? B2B sales. Well, that's not the same thing. So I had to develop that skill. And I remember, because I used to work for a drill sergeant, he used to come into on the sales floor and he'd hold up a poster and it was a picture of a mouse and he ate through the walls of a maze to get to the cheese and he goes fucking figure it out. And he used to like shove it in our
Yeah.
faces because you could do this back then. And
Yeah.
he'd like shove it in our faces and I actually kind of appreciated that. And I was like, it took like 2 years to develop that skill, but if I got told to beat it by King Supers, I'd go to the person above that person. and send them a cold email or cookies to their house, or I'd figure out a way to do that.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I think that's such a cool trait for a founder. I think that's
I totally I love that. Like I had a boss similar that would say, "Don't come to me with a problem. Come to me with a solution." And that I told everyone after figuring that part out, that I thought that was the best advice I ever got from a boss,
yeah.
is just show me that you're thinking about it. Like even if it's wrong, even if it's not the tact we're going to take, I want to know that you thought about it and you're
How did you
this
get
is
there?
why. Yeah, how'd you get
Yeah.
there? And okay, that's fine, but did you think about this, this, and this? And you can poke holes later. So that, and that's sort of what I do as an angel investor too, right?
Mhm.
Is that you're you're developing this solution for this problem. I'm going to poke holes in it to see how
Yeah.
you're going to react. Did you think about this? Did you figure this out? Do you know about this competitor? All those kind of things.
How important do you think it is for a founder to have a sales background?
Oof, great question. Okay, so I love a founder with a sales background. However, you don't necessarily need to have a sales background, but you need to be able to sell your product. The founder has to be the first salesperson. They
Hmm.
have to be. It's got to be, you've got to be able to talk, and that's what I coach a lot of. How do you
A
talk about
sales?
yourself?
Oh, okay.
Well, it's how do you talk about yourself? How do you talk about yourself and your product? And it works with investors, it works with customers, and it works with partners. So it's the yes, some wording might change. What your ask is will be different for
Hmm.
every one of those, but being able to concisely say who you are, why you're the person that should be building what you're building, and what makes you so great, you have to be able to say that, and you have to be comfortable saying that, and then you have to be comfortable talking about your product. Like I tell everyone about my digital twins, I'm obsessed with them. Like I've got to be talking about them if I want people to use them and benefit from them. I've got to be talking about them all the time, and then I've got to talk about why are mine better than anybody else's, or why are they better than the
Hmm.
AI tools out there. Well, because it's my brain, it's my specific unique brain that is there and in there. So it's a, yeah, I mean, don't you think that sales is like the most important thing from day one for the founder?
I think, in my opinion, it's the ability to sell the product, the company, yourself, and recruit
Hmm.
team members, and followed closely by, well, it used to be code, not anymore. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think sales is the most, yeah, I think sales is the most important skill, I think.
Yeah.
Followed closely by
It,
figuring shit out.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. But I think sales can be taught
Yeah.
too. If and you have to figure out, you have to do enough conversations to figure out what lights people up, what you say, and you can, when you do enough in-person stuff like that, you'll see people, oh, that's interesting. You'll see their body
Hmm.
language change. You'll see their eyebrows raise. You'll see a question on their face. That's why I tell everybody record, like anytime you're doing a virtual thing, record it so you
Hmm.
can go back and watch the person's face to see
Yeah.
how they reacted when you said certain things. So I know I can get Charlie to light up when I talk about this. I know I can get him. That next time that I talk to somebody like Charlie, I'm going to use that words because I know that's going to get them excited about what I'm doing.
Now, you get hit up a lot on LinkedIn. I'm sure your personal site gets PDFs, decks, all of that.
Yeah.
How can builders stand out to you?
So I'm going to say something pretty controversial, but
Uh-huh. Okay.
I say it. I don't think cold DMs work. And I don't think they work because they don't work on me. And I will tell you, I have taken one pitch in my life that is a
Really?
cold DM. Yeah.
Oh,
And
man.
that what that person did is they were very specific about why I was a fit for them. So it was a company, and I didn't
Mm.
end up investing. Their check, basically their check size was too big. I probably would have thrown in a small check if they were willing to take it. They weren't. That's just fine. But the company was building coolers that were made out of the remnants of coconuts, basically, which is like super insulating, which makes sense if you think about it because
Hmm.
the
Yeah,
coconut
yeah.
water in there. And so it was a sustainable way. So it's not styrofoam and it's not plastic and metal and all that. They were lightweight, fashionable coolers. And so they knew I was heavily invested in beverage. And so they said, I think there's a lot of collabs I could do with your beverage companies. And they just worded it in a way that was short, concise,
I
and
was
to the
gonna say,
point.
yeah. So we used to send. I used to sell ads in a magazine, so I'd be the guy that would cold call and cold email, and we came up with a thing of three-line emails, literally
Yeah.
three sentences: one, two, three. Here's who we are. Here's what you get. Here's how much it is. Bam, deal or no deal. And I
Yeah.
actually got one deal from it in the 4.5 years. We would send that out. I did get somebody calling in the next day, like, yeah, we'll take it. And I was like, holy shit, like, okay, this actually works.
Yeah.
It's bananas, just as concise as freaking possible,
Yeah.
and make it
I
what's in it
say
for
that all the
them.
time. Yeah, totally. Like one line about it's I always say I have a thing in tell me in 3 bullets. I have this on my website, why I'm a fit for you. Tell me about why I'm a fit, because I also want people to understand angel investors and VCs for sure have a thesis that is what they
Yeah.
invest in, and it's there for a reason. It gives guardrails, it showcases their expertise. It's it's a you can't be everything to everybody. Nobody can be everything to everybody. So you've got to niche down in order to be successful.
Mhm.
So that's why people do it. I have so much cold outreach that doesn't meet my thesis at all. So like a lot of times the DMs, the first thing I'll write back is, how does this fit my thesis? And then they're like, well, what is your thesis? And then I go back and say, it's in my bio. It's the first line in my bio. It's on my website. And you can even Google what is Katie Dunn's investment thesis.
The fact that
So
you
like there's
respond
no
is
excuse.
pretty impressive. Good for you, because
Well, I actually
that's the nice Katie, I guess.
that is the nice Katie. That is the real Katie. But I do it because I know how many founders get ghosted.
Yeah.
And I don't, and I know founders complain about that all the time. And I don't want to be one of those people. But I have to do a plug. I literally today had a demo of the most amazing product that I've been playing with all morning called Condo. And I'll give you a code to put in the show notes if you want it.
Okay.
But oh my God, Charlie, this thing is amazing. It organizes all your DMs and you can respond to them super quick. You can do snippets. It's its own app so that it's not you can use it on Chrome or whatever, but you can it's its own app and it helps you accept connection requests and answer DMs. And I mean, I've cleared out literally in a matter of an hour, I've cleared out over a month of DMs and I get
Ooh.
like 30 to 40 DMs a day. And so like I keep up with responding to them, but sometimes when people respond back, I don't always get and they get buried. You know how the
Yeah, yeah,
dumb interface is.
yeah.
It's you can filter, you can group people, you can tag people. It is so cool. I am so excited about this.
Is it
So
just
this is
LinkedIn, or is it LinkedIn and
Yep,
like
it's just
Instagram?
LinkedIn.
Okay.
So
Okay, got it.
they're actually the founder. I talked to the founder this morning in the demo, and he said he's working on Instagram and TikTok as well,
It's
which
called Condo.
Like Marie Kondo, Kondo.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah, I'll send it. I'll send you over. But I like
Condo.
I heard
Okay.
about it on LinkedIn, and then another founder or another investor that I follow was talking about it, who I know also gets 1,000 DMs. And I messaged the founder and I was like, "What is this? Like, I need a demo immediately. I am a super user. This is super cool." So it's very impressive, very impressive.
Okay. All right. And so as we wrap up here, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes. What
Yeah.
advice do you have for our builder audience in raising capital? Maybe like 3 or 4 points of, let's say they've got a Claude API call, and maybe I don't know, some sort of product, or pardon me, founder market fit. What advice can you give on raising capital?
First of all, figure out if you actually need to raise. If you don't need to raise, don't raise because you can keep more of your company and you can, understand what goes into raising and what that's going to mean for you. Number two, get really specific on what you're going to use the money for. So know exactly where every dollar is going to go
Mm,
and make sure it's going to revenue driving activities. So what that means is a salesperson or engineers to make you build faster, customer acquisition and marketing,
mm,
those kinds of things. Don't have it go to pay for yourself. Don't have it go to pay off old debt. It's got to go to new revenue driving activities and know exactly what the return on that money is going to be. If I get $100,000, that $100,000 is going to be spent on an engineer, which is going to be able to make me build these features, which I've heard from 1,000 customers that they all want. I'm going to be able to roll it out in 3 months, and that's going to drive revenue by this. So, like thinking
Mm,
about how exactly that path is going to go is really important. Okay, what's the other thing? Oh, don't lead with the we're an AI business that blah 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 blah
the
blah.
solution.
Lead with the problem you're solving.
Hmm.
Like lead, we're solving this problem by doing this. Every company right now, I mean, you're obsessed with AI like I am. Like everybody's using AI. Everybody is using AI in some form or function, or should be
Hmm.
for you should be using some AI tool to make themselves go faster, better, more efficiently, whatever. But you are not unique by saying I am an AI business. If you say AI first, it's a red flag. So, yes, there's a lot of investors out there looking for AI businesses, but talk about the problem you're solving first. That was three. What other things? I think, oh,
That's
the other
good.
thing is, well, one more thing
Yeah.
is real customers. Like not a I talked to a founder the other day that has 19 people on their waiting list. It's not a reason to build a product. You've got to have a lot of customers and you want customers to be paying for your product and be talking to your customers. You want a customer to say, "Oh my God, I fucking need this right now. How much money I will give you all
Hmm.
the money in my bank account if you fix this problem for me." That's the reaction you want from your customer, not a I get, yeah, I'd try it. I think it'd be okay. I'd try it. Yeah, give me a free trial and then I'll see what happens.
Yeah.
No. Like this condo product, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm paying for this. This is so helpful in an hour and a half of playing around with it. This is amazing. Like that's the kind of reaction you want to get.
Okay. All right. And look, I think it would also help too if, we do have CEOs, of course, and entrepreneurs listening. What about some advice to get into angel investing?
Dip your toe in. I love it so much. Please, please get into angel investing. We need more people out there that are willing to support founders. So, a couple things I would say there is wait, don't just bring your dollars, bring your expertise because money doesn't solve problems, people solve problems.
Hmm.
So, think about how you can actually help certain founders. I leaned into things I liked and then got more expertise on them through my work on that. I don't necessarily recommend that for everybody. If I was really, if I had gone a different direction, I probably would have leaned into prop tech, property tech, real estate tech. But I haven't actually, I've made my first one that's sort of on the cusp of that this year. But think about how you can help people. It might be connections, it might be introductions to certain kinds of people. It might be experience you've had building something before
Hmm.
that, whatever you can do, think about how you can help the person. And don't be afraid to ask, like if they say, don't write a huge check. Like checks don't need to be $100,000. They can be $5,000. They can be $2,500. You could do WeFunder for $100 in a lot of cases.
Hmm.
You don't need to write huge checks, and I don't encourage you to write big checks. You want to diversify your portfolio because many of your investments will go to zero. So diversification is really, really important. So keeping that part in mind. And I have an angel investing guide on my website that's
You
free.
do?
Yeah, I can give you the link. It's like a
Yeah.
very basic starter thing of how, what do some terms mean? What do you need to look at? Dispelling some myths, a glossary, things like that. So I'll give you that. But think about you're not just a check. Don't and trust your gut. Trust your gut is a big part of it.
I think that's a big one. Yeah. I
Yeah.
made a couple months ago, I made a GPT to quiz me at like a PhD level of being an angel investor, like different scenarios. This company's in this stage, this company, their financials are at this and that, and, multiple choice and that kind of thing. So that's kind of, um,
That's great.
we, we use that between the three of us. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that's awesome. Yeah, just to make sure you're doing the due diligence, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So you don't go in and you just kind of like, I don't get it, I don't get it. And then you sound like a dummy, and then you get passed on like a good deal. So,
Yeah.
well, cool stuff, Katie. Yeah. And as we wrap up here, where can our audience find you? Should they, you know, have their shit together and need a good angel investor?
So LinkedIn is a big place that I hang out. I'll be responding to you in Condo if you message me there
Yes.
now. And then by the way, I did not invest in Condo. He's not, it's totally bootstrapped, so I can't even invest in Condo. Um, and also my website, katiedunn.com, or my business website is themastheadstrategy.com. So I'll give you the links for all of those things, as well.
Cool. Awesome. Katie, thanks for being on.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Wait, we're going to do predictions?
Oh, yes. Yes, we are. Woo, look at me. I have like Christmas shopping on my head. Okay. Getting weird into next year, 2026. Are we in a bubble, first and foremost? And what do you think is going to happen in next year?
Okay, so I think we are a bit in a bubble with these chat GPT wrapper type AI businesses. So people that think that they can raise money off of a Lovable app or a Replit app that ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity are going to be able to do, or Gemini in 2 seconds,
Mhm.
beware. Like I think that's coming. I think they're just coming for all of that kind of stuff, whether it's like travel related or I don't know. There's so many things. So I think be careful about building something that ChatGPT can copy. Uh, but I think that goes back to the like, don't be AI first, like solve a real problem. And for predictions for next year, I think we're going to see these AI companies like really get a lot smarter and a lot, I think there's going to be a lot more wearables. I think the wearable market of things that like the Plod where it records everything you say all day, or there's another woman that I know that's making earrings for women that are going to be like headphones and AI so that not just
Oh,
like
wow.
glasses, but like, listening devices and things
Yeah.
like that. I think the wearables are going to get really interesting about how they integrate with your everyday life and how you can send an email without your phone from the little button on your collar. I don't know. What do you think? I want to hear yours. What do you think about the bubble? What do you think about a bubble?
Yeah, we're definitely in a bubble. I think it's gonna be pretty ugly in I'm gonna say like end of Q1. Uh and I'm excited to see though, yes, we are in a bubble, but I'm excited to see where companies like Lovable and I don't know about ChatGPT. I get weird vibes from them. Hopefully,
Mm.
actually, they do listen. So, love y'all. Um, I think I'm excited to see like where they're going. Yeah, I mean they raise like all this freaking capital, so I'm excited to see where the industry is going. I think voice, obviously, that's gonna take over
Yeah.
100%, and I'm excited to see like more community driven events, more
Oh, I love
in-person
that.
things, more just more opportunity for in-person like being together like in person. We've learned a lot about the power of community since having Mallory on, and yeah, it's pretty real. So yes, we're in a bubble. I think voice will take over even more so, and I think these incumbents are dangerous. Love you,
Yeah.
OpenAI.
I actually ChatGPT is my preferred like thought partner thing.
Oh,
So
okay, yeah.
I
Love you,
really
Brett
do.
Taylor. Thanks for listening.
Yeah. I really do love them. I really do love you. But I love the community thing. So this company that I was saying is sort of prop tech. It's also community as a service. It's called Fabric. Super
Oh.
excited about it. So that this was the most recent check that I wrote. So they have two spaces in New York right now, and then they just opened up Chicago, where they actually license vacant office space from office building owners. And so they have a place, so it's sort of co-working,
Mhm.
but they also have you can build your community within their space on their app and in person. So and when I say you can build your community, it can be everything from your knitting club to your wine tasting club to your AI to your SEO club. Like it could be anything under the sun, and you can use their platform and anybody can go to those events or be a part of those communities. So I totally agree. I think community
It's
building
badass.
is,
That's cool.
yeah, super
I like that.
interesting. Yeah, maybe they should come to Denver and hang out with you.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be cool. That yeah, we're going to Breck next month, so um,
Yeah.
yeah, cool stuff. Well, Katie, all
Yeah.
right, I think that covers everything. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
prediction. Cool, cool. Well, thank you for being on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was super fun. Great conversation. Thank you for having me. Happy holidays.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Hey guys, Connor here with Builders Growth Lab. If you're looking for a way to stay up to date on the latest news, trends, topics in AI and marketing, look no further. Visit us at buildersgrowthlab.ai and sign up for our newsletter today. In it, you'll find quick takeaways from our latest show, as well as simple tips on how to market your app. That's buildersgrowthlab.ai. Sign up today.
All right, great interview with Katie. She's awesome. She took the time and yeah, just really laid things out on from the perspective of an angel investor that has done many deals, what is attractive and how to really stand out as a builder, how to get the attention. Is it even, does the timing even make sense to have an influx of capital, what to do with the money, how to have your shit together, when talking to an investor. So great conversation. So here it's a few days before Christmas. We're going to go and wrap up the episode. Y'all stay safe. Enjoy time with family and friends. We will be back next week with a brand new episode. And you can find us on LinkedIn at Builders Growth Lab. You can find us on X, Builders Growth Lab, as well as YouTube, Builders Growth Lab. Peace. See you next week.